Welcome everybody back after the lunch break. Everybody is filled to the brim with food, and hopefully that's going to give them the stamina to get through what is going to be one hell of a game. It's a game which I've been looking forward to, and I'm definitely my co-commentator has been massively looking forward to. Moscow 5 going up against Monkey. They are the two teams who met up in the ICS Grand Final down Ukraine, where Moscow 5 did come out on top, but Monkey put up one hell of a fight. Let's see what happens now in the world of Dota 2, because that was a Dota 1 comp. We're in Dota 2 now. It's a brand new world. And I should actually introduce the man before I blab on a little bit too much. Synderen, man, welcome back to the broadcast. Hopefully this game will be well worth the wait.
Yeah, I definitely expect it to be. This is probably, as you said, this might be the most exciting game of the day. I hope you hear me, don't you?
Yeah, I hear you. I just hit the wrong hotkey.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right, fair enough. Yeah, two very aggressive teams going up against each other. I think we can all agree that both Monkey and M5 like to play aggressively, like to play around with a lot of stuns, especially aggressive during the laning phase in the early mid game. M5 big fans of ganker heroes. On the other side, Monkey are a little bit more. They're a fan of some different, of various things rather. I think it's more predictable what M5 are actually going to go for than what Monkey will. But nevertheless, I can say for sure that both teams will play aggressively, and the question is exactly which way they'll do it in. We've got already two of the big carries banned out at least, so that already goes to show that we will have something else than farming Anti-Mage and farming Spectre in this game.
Yay!
They've both been removed, and I've got to say, man, the Radiant, they better ban Night Stalker against these boys from M5. They're really deadly with that one. But on the other hand, there's also a Prophet that you've got to worry about. Mm-hmm. Both of those heroes very powerful in the hands of M5. They just utilize that ganking very well, and that might be the thing that that Monkey are thinking about right now. Maybe we don't ban any of them, and then we at least get one of them ourselves. But of course, as always with drafting in Dota, it's very complex. It's about what you want, it's about what you don't want the enemy to have, and it's about what the enemy actually wants themselves, which might not be what you actually don't want them to have. They could have other plans in mind, of course, and we do see the Prophet actually being banned here by M5, and well, that's perhaps their way of trying to set up to get that Night Stalker for themselves. And let's see if Monkey actually reads that and get rid of that one. I really think they should this time around, at least. Don't give that Night Stalker to M5. It's gonna rip you, and there it is, removed by Monkey. So our first pick comes off for M5. I'm gonna guess Ancient Apparition. What do you think?
First pick, actually, Chen is their first one. You might just refresh your stream as well. If you've actually been watching the stream and you watch it over time, it actually starts to delay up over time. So if you hit the refresh button or Control F5, it'll actually restart your stream, and you should actually be only about 3 seconds behind the main gameplay. So yeah, Chen is the first one to come up from Moscow 5. With Na'Vi, I would definitely say, yeah, that's definitely going to happen, but weird to see that coming out from them, especially considering like they ban out Prophet, and they still actually had first pick, and they come up with Chen. Mirana is the answer by the Radiant, and hopefully too, Sind, your stream is working fine. I know there's been a couple of issues with the sound coming through from this. Hopefully I've managed to actually level it all back out again. Guys, CJAP, please let me know.
Oh, the delay for me is definitely good right now. It's only a few seconds of delay, as you said. But yeah, that Chen first pick is actually very surprising for me to see M5 pick that one up as the first one. Not that they can't play it, not that they don't play it usually. They played it at the International as well, I think with great success in the game, or the 2 games they had it. I'm not completely sure how many it was. Dread plays that one very well, and it is probably going to go in his hands, that Chen. For the aggressive, that's what we talked about, the aggressive pushing power or ganking power. Chen brings you that to the table. With those creeps from the forest, he's going to come out to your lanes, set up gangs, and then if they are successful, you can very quickly bring down those towers. Yeah, when you've got those creeps available, that's very powerful for pushing. And the response from the Radiant, as you said, the Mirana. Damn, I'm stuck on that bottom thing. Mirana as well as Lich. So that one went through the ban pool as well. Lich is just one of those heroes that that I love to hate, man. I really love to hate that hero. It's annoying. It's got that Dark Ritual spell to hold your lane back, so the enemy doesn't get the same amount of farm and experience. And then when you get later into the game, you've got the Frost Armor, for extra armor for all your heroes when he casts that on them. And then you've got tons of slowing power, great team fighter, can be played as a solo, can be played as a support. This hero is just an overall great pick early in the draft because you can adjust him as you want, while a hero like Chen pretty much... You play with open cards when you first pick Chen. The enemy knows he's going to be in the woods because no team at all lanes this hero. It's very, very rarely going to be worth it laning the Chen. Then there's better alternatives out there. So that's what the Radiant are picking for right now. As my stream actually went black, I'm not sure it's just for me. I hope it is.
Just double checking. It could actually just be you. No, the stream actually paused for a second. So we'll just double check that and actually get it to restart, which is probably something I probably should have done before we actually started off. But stream is now actually restarted. So, but the VOD will actually still be there, so yeah. It should be the same lag. We changed the net light over, so it won't be happening again. Alright, so I just put the stream back up again. We'll double check and make sure it's actually working for everybody. Hopefully it is, because if it is, then obviously life is good. Life is good.
Yeah, it is back for me at least. Yes, it is back, so we can go through the draft. You guys should all F5 the stream so it comes back on, and now it went black again. That's not good. It's bouncing a little bit back and forth between black and white, Tobi. I don't know what's going on. But nevertheless, we've got a couple more picks that I can talk about. Meanwhile, now it's back again. How lovely and delightful. Ancient Apparition as well as Windrunner are going to come off for Moscow 5. So I was right about the Ancient Apparition, just not the time they picked it. They took it as the second pick together with Windrunner. So that means both sides right now have got lots of off-laning potential. Windrunner, of course, for M5, if that's what they want to play. They could play dual lanes as well, as always. And on the Radiant side, we've actually got 3 heroes who are good for off-laning. The Mirana, the Lich, as well as the Puck now, are picked up by the Radiant for that brilliant teamfight power and brilliant aggression as well that we talked about. Both sides, really aggressive heroes here. Potom, the powerful initiator with that arrow, leaps forward into the fight and deals a lot of damage with the Star Call. You've got the Puck for the Dream Call, setting it all up with the Orb over the top, the Silence, tons of nuking damage together with the Lich. Great synergy, holds them in place. The Lich ultimate Chain Frost bounces between heroes as well as Chen creeps, which could be a problem for them. We'll see how that works out. And yeah, on the Dire side, Ancient Apparition is all about the aggression, global presence as well with that Ice Blast, which he can fire all the way across the map. And Windrunner is just one of those heroes. You land a good Shackle shot, there's your initiation, go for it. We saw that in the last game, SGC versus eHome, and I don't think you should expect any less from the Windrunner being played by Moscow 5, especially not if it's in the hands of Vigos.
By the way, guys, I have been changing around a couple of settings, so hopefully everything is smoother again for you, Sind. You can spam me up in Skype if things go horrendously wrong. But yes, I, of course, was taking care of that, so I completely lost what Cinder actually said. We can do a quick recap, though, as far as our bans actually coming out. So we actually have completed our bans now from the Radiant, taking out Spectre, Night Stalker, Faceless Void, as well as Weaver. Dyer's removed out Anti-Mage, Prophet, Earthshaker, as well as Tidehunter. So the 2 supports taken out at the end, as well as the 2 by the Dyer, and the 2 carries taken out by the Radiant side. It's interesting to see them actually take out the support heroes as well, especially considering like Lich as well as Puck is already on the field. Earthshaker, always great to actually take out. Well, we've got ourselves connection problems once again. So, Sind, I don't know if you're actually... No, we should be okay.
I just F5'd the stream again, but yeah, the Tidehunter as well as Earthshaker bans, getting rid of some powerful teamfight slash defensive heroes, and I think the plan for M5 here is to get as most as possible out of their Chen. So by banning Shaker and Tidehunter, they can avoid those big AoE stuns and get in with the Chen army and not get blown apart before they actually get their spells off. So I think very, very viable bans coming out of M5 here. On the other side, Monkey getting rid of those agility carries, Faceless Void as well as Nerubian Weaver. I guess, yeah, that's a little less obvious bans, you've got to say, but it's probably the game plan of them that they're wondering, all right, what are M5 going to do? Are they going to get a late gamer to put on the top lane supported by Chen +1? If they are going to do that, it's not going to be Void, it's not going to be Weaver. We don't want to play against that. We're going to play all-out, powerful ganking. And the question is if the Radiant themselves are actually even going to pick up a carry in this one or going to go all in on aggression. Because we've got tons of carries actually banned out. And, well, the Radiant already have the Potom, which is by arguably the strongest late gamer picked right now. So I guess it's all up to M5 who actually gets to command what is going to happen if we go late game on this. But man, you got to say, with these two teams, late game, not really that probable.
Both these teams, they do like to play in the early game sometimes, and we did see that come out from Monkey in their previous game, where they went a little bit more cautious. They actually had themselves a late game option, and the main reason why they did that is because of that's the way eHome plays. But when Moscow 5 plays, they always like to play early, and you can play the same pace as them. It works then that way. Moscow 5 will, of course, just change everybody to play at their pace. The Raid actually picking up Beastmaster as their 4th pickup right now, which is great to see. We haven't seen Beastmaster yet here in the International. Wow, Sin, I'm living in the past.
In the ESWC.
In the ESWC. World Fame be the competition. The prize pool, while it is pretty decent, it is not $1 million. Or 1.6 million, we should probably say.
But yeah, well, the point you can draw towards the International was that Beastmaster was actually a very, very popular pick during that tournament, so that might have been what kind of gave you that impulse of the International right now. It was a very, very popular pick right then, and this was also, I think this very, very much reminds me of a game that M5 actually played at the International. They had Necrolite, they had Chen, and they had Venge themselves as well, I think, or they were playing against it. But those heroes were part of the game. This is a stable strategy for M5. They know how to play this. They farm up their mechanism, they farm up their pipe so that they have that AoE heal and AoE magical damage mitigation, and then they just go for it. They've got tons of teamfight potential, great healing power, great control. They've got swap, stun, shackle shot, cold feet, all of that on top, while just tanking it up with Necrolite and Chen healing everybody up, keeping them alive. And if something should go wrong, we know how that Holy Persuasion can be used, Tobi, teleporting the targeted hero back to base after a few seconds of delay.
Yeah, there's been some amazing moments from the International, and I can refer to that now, where Chen basically just pulls out anybody who's about to die. It's a great way of actually saving having to use a TP scroll or anything like that, having to run back to base. Chen will just basically pull you and just send you back again. So it does work pretty nicely. But yeah, I'm really excited by these picks. And once again, Shadow Shaman coming out from Monkey. They picked him up in their last game, and now they're going to use him again this time. I'm really, really excited about this game, mainly because of Moscow 5's picks, as we have a pause, so we'll actually have a second to collect our thoughts. But I just love the fact that Moscow 5, you're right, they've got so much regen, they've got so much initiation, they've got so much gank, they've got so much teamfight potential that, it's not even just teamfight, it's ganking, and it's never going to stop ganking. And that's what makes Moscow 5 one of the most entertaining teams to actually watch, because of their lineup, because of the way they play. So we should have a very entertaining game coming out from these guys. We'll run through the Moscow 5 side. So NS will be playing as the Chen. God will be playing as Windrunner. Dread playing as Eventual Spirit. Please Go Game, known to the world as PGG. He'll be playing as the Necrolite, which leaves Vigos, the final member of Moscow 5, playing as the Ancient Apparition. We'll check out the Monkey team to see if they're going to go. They're in a beautiful star formation right now. Calculus playing as the Puck. Angel playing his, very, very common role of Marana. Miguel will be playing as Shadow Shaman. We got Sushi 74, who you might be able to actually help out to actually know who he is. And then
Suppose that's Link. I guess that's going to be Link.
Yeah, you guess it would be Link. And then Rise is our final one of Lich. Link did actually make the trip to ESWC, didn't he?
I think so. I don't know. I actually haven't really been talking that much with the guys about it, but I think they're there. I don't know. I guess that is Link. A very strange nickname to pick, but there must be some sort of reason for it. Nevertheless,
Link, dude, Link. Zelda
has anything to do with sushi? I don't know. I don't get.
Oh, you mean sushi? Yeah, no. Well, unless you're talking about like Merle.
But yeah, I get the link to Zelda, and no pun intended on the link to Zelda. Fucking hell, Tobi. But anyway, on the dire side, man, I said that that Windrunner would be devastating if Vigos was playing it. Don't worry about it. It's in the hands of God as well. No pun intended on that one either. Man, I'm on a roll today, and I'm not even intending to. But that Windrunner, played by God, he plays that one excellently as well. Loves playing those the Windrunner, the Potom. Those elusive ranged heroes are really that's really God's specialty. And Vigos will probably be playing that solo mid AA. He's played it tons of times. Really great hero for his playstyle as well. He loves to play harassment. He loves to play aggressively. And AA, top 3 hero in the game to own a lane, simply. Vigos will be bringing hell to that mid lane.
Yeah, Vigos is awesome. I just love the fact that PGG, one of the most suicidal players out there in the game right now, is actually being given the guy who is almost impossible to actually kill if he gets any form of farm. I love that fact, man. PGG is always suicidal, but suicidal Necrolite hurts, man. It really, really hurts. We do actually have a pause in the game right now. As you can read in the chat, Angel's actually having a couple of issues, so they've called an admin across. It's about this time we actually reiterate the point that this game is actually still in beta. There is a lot of things which still need to be worked out. It's the reason why SMM actually switched back to Dota 1. It's the reason why WDC hasn't actually picked up Dota 1. They were both saying it haven't picked up Dota 2. It's still saying it Dota 1. So, yeah. Next year, hopefully a lot of these bugs will be taken out. In the meantime, we still actually want to have a couple of competitions like this because it builds up hype. It lets you guys also see, if you don't actually have a beta key, you guys can actually see the game. If you are lucky enough to win a beta key, there's a lot of competitions that actually are currently running. Even DPM from PlayDota.com, she's giving away 40 beta keys. So check out playdota.com for the details for that one, because if you want to win a beta key here, we've given away 2 already today. There's 1 more to give away today. And all you got to do is basically comment on our Facebook site, so facebook.com/join Dota. You can like it if you want to as well. Not a condition. All you got to do is just basically comment, and you'll actually have one of those people will be selected at random and sent a key. So we've already got 2 people who are playing the game. A third one will be playing by tonight. So yeah, congratulations to those guys, and yeah. Meanwhile, back at the not shameless pimping of competitions, we'll wait for these guys to be. There's been so many beta key comps, man, though. There's been so many comps.
Yeah, there has. People are going really, really all in on them. What's so cool about the way keys are being handed out right now to me is that there's some fans out there who really dedicate it for a key and make some brilliant content, which is actually very, very, very enjoyable to watch or to read or whatnot, in order to try to get a better key. So that's absolutely lovely. It just goes to show the passion that people have for this game, even though it's only in a beta. They want in so bad, and that speaks very, very well for the future of this game already. So the hype is there, the tournaments are there, the fan base is there already, and the game is still in a beta and it's not coming out before 2012. So I guess we're in for a very bright future for the game. Yeah, there's still some things to talk about before this game actually starts, so we don't talk about it during the game, I guess. Could try to point out how we think the game is actually going to go and how the lanes are going to be played, because as I said, on the Monkey side, I think it's pretty much straightforward on M5, right? I think we can agree that Chen will be foresting top, Venge will be there supporting the Necrolite, we've got Windrunner off lane, and AA mid. That seems reasonable, right?
It seems reasonable. I don't know if VS will actually go straight onto the lane with the Necrolite to start with. I think because Moscow 5, they kind of had like this trend of Vengeful Spirit goes with Chen every single time, and then they'll just gank once both of them actually hit like level 3 or that point. So I think PGG will be gone for on his own for like the first 3 levels.
Yeah, and with a Smoke of Deceit, these guys can definitely go out and roam. And wow, I'm actually surprised to see NS playing Chen and Dread playing Venge. I was going to guess that was going to be reversed, but I'm excited to see that one played out. Anyway, I guess M5 will be aiming for some smoke gank. That, of course, Smoke of Deceit to smoke up the Chen, the Venge, as well as the creeps. Venge can then act as the initiator. It's often Chen's problem when he tries to gank that he doesn't have the timing because he gets visible a little too early and then the creep doesn't come in. Vengeful provides that extra second of stun, will let you come in with the Chen creep, and then probably bring down a target. Great synergy as well. I've talked about this many times before. Vengeful Spirit and AA, great synergy together. Long stun from Venge coupled with Cold Feet will get you frozen in place and probably secure a kill. But with that said, the question is what the Monkey Boys are going to do, because I pointed it out, they've got 3 great heroes for the off lane. Lich will probably be a support in this. They are moving Potom towards the top now, together with Lich. Puck is going top as well. I guess they are toward this right now. And, well, both Beastmaster and Rust are great heroes to play solo mid, but obviously they can't be there solo both of them, then they would be 2 there. So, well, how do they put these lanes? There are many options.
What I'm going to guess right now, well, Angel manages to actually escape against 5 Moscow 5 people looking for a hunt. I'm thinking Mirana's actually going to go top, Riot's going to steal a creep, and then head down towards the bottom lane. We're going to have Beastmaster down the bottom lane with Miguel playing as a Shadow Shaman, and then Puck is actually going to be our solo mid lane to actually play this one up. I don't know if Lich is actually lane? I wonder if actually we might even see Lich stay up there on the top lane with Angel, realize he's going to have a lot of trouble up against that top. the Lich sacrifice will definitely make that a lot easier to actually stay in that lane.
Yeah, definitely. It's going to be very useful for Angel to have that Lich up there to actually get some farm on the bottom. But the question is what price they're paying on the other lane, because to me, Rasta Beastmaster is not a good lane. It doesn't have too much synergy. Both of them desperately need levels. You need the level 6 on Rasta for the wards. You need the level 6 on Beastmaster for the Raw. It's really important. Both of those heroes are very dependent on their ultimate abilities. Of course, they will obviously be able to farm nicely if they're playing against a solo Windrunner down there, but level-wise, I'm not sure if this is a good investment. Probably rather sacrifice a little bit of farm and level on the puck to get a fast level 6 Rasta or Beastmaster. We'll see how it plays out for Monkey, but this is never what I would have expected them to do.
Yeah, well, something new and different is what we always see from LAN events, so we might be having that again, as Windrunner's actually staying pretty close towards that bottom lane. Miguel's just trying to actually harass him back, and the level 1 of the Ether Shock is being used for nothing but harassing the Windrunner. We did see last time Monkey actually played Rust, they ran him solo mid, and then they actually used Ether Shock to get the last hits. He got up the levels and pushed the towers down pretty fast. And that's during the way that Rasta is played, but in this role, Rasta goes, you got to say pure support, depending on how much pull actually happens, which I don't know how that's going to go up against Windrunner. That's a second lot of access now popped off by Beastmaster, out of mana already. Same with Miguel, and Windrunner just has to pop off a healing salve, and he's happy as Larry.
Yeah, and Windrunner went for the completely correct item build from the start off, having 2 flasks as well as 6 tangos. Apparently she got some consumables from her allies. Of course, that is allowed. You can give consumables to your ally, but the ally is not allowed to sell them, has to use them on the lane. So she starts out with a null talisman, a branch, and some of the regen items were her own. The others were probably bought to her by Chen. It's something we saw Na'Vi doing the entire international as well. The Chen bought regen for the off lane. And right now working out brilliantly for M5 because, well, as you said, Monkey out of mana and haven't put the pressure on the Windrunner they were hoping to.
Yeah, I'm actually just now jumping back up towards Chen on the top lane and realized I've been looking at that bottom lane pretty closely just because of the harassment going out between God as well as Miguel. And God's actually going to have a little bit of a harder time now that the Wild Boar is actually up, and that slow is really going to reduce her movement. Always has that wind run to escape if she actually needs to. Speaking of escape, Angel leaping back past that tier 1 tower. It's really, really not surprising when we've got Chen as well as Necrolite on this top lane that the tier 1 tower will be under so much pressure. But Lich and Angel, they're actually holding it pretty decently. The tower's only actually had one little bit of a nibble taken out of it so far.
First blood.
And I just missed Windrunner dying on the bottom lane. So second first blood missed for the tournament. we're at a ratio of 1:3 at the moment, Sin. Oops, I think we've actually lost Sin for a moment as well. But the first blood did actually come out in the end on the bottom lane. Interesting to see actually how they pulled that one off, especially considering, like, well, we've got one lock in place and there's a smoke in a seat, which actually looks like it's been popped up as well. So Beastmaster must have had enough for at least one set of axes. Not level 6 yet, so there's actually no raw. Oops. And that'll probably be why I've actually lost Sin, as my other laptop has actually dropped for a moment. So we will just restart that one up and we'll get Sin back into the game, or into the cast. So hopefully he's actually watching to actually know. In the meantime, though, luckily it's on a separate computer. So we will actually be watching Moscow 5 heading up towards the top lane. The line's already been drawn right now by Rise. It's like we know they're coming that way. They will be here in just a moment. So they'll wait for them to actually come in through the rear. This is always what happens. That's at level 3 I was telling you about with Chen as well as Vengeful Spirit. You stay in the neutrals, and then you come to gank the top lane. At the same time, the creep wave is actually on the tower. So they're going to go for Angel. Angel doing the best thing he can do, and that's going inside the trees and gets himself into a good position for a leap. The magic missile will stun, but there's not enough damage to actually stop them, and Rise is there to let off one quick frost. And whoops, there you go, restarting mode. One arrow sign actually hit there on Vengeful Spirit, so that's actually pretty good for them, but there's still a big creep wave pushing on the tier 1 tower. So it's impossible to actually stop them at that point. In the meantime, it's still 1-0. That Boar's having great fun with Windrunner. Windrunner doing the same. Windrunner wants to get that last hit. It won't be too long before we actually get Synderen back into it. Poor bastard, probably doesn't even know what the hell's going on. But we'll boot it up. From when your reference computer's got 101 different things open. Puck at this point, probably just going to phase shift out of that cold feed. Getting the timing just a little bit wrong there. So he gets cold feeded up. Miguel with the invis rune, trying to set up right now on God. Should be able to actually do so. There goes that first shock, and this is probably exactly how they did it last time. Shock him up, hold him in place, tries to munch through the trees, does do so as well. Tango clears the path, and God is able to actually run out of that bottom lane. But it gives a lot more space for Beastmaster to actually farm. He's almost completed up his Vanguard as well, which is definitely going to help him out. My apologies if I seem distracted. I'm just trying to reboot things back up again. And with that, we should be back in again, and we'll give the call back to Syndron. Bottom lane going on the gank once again, so Windrunner. That Windrunner build is so hard to actually kill her when she pops that off.
Hello there.
Oh, hi, Sind. Hi. Sorry about that, man.
Technical difficulties for the win. I take it your laptop shut down, at least that's what Moose told me. Well, shit
bingo.
happens.
Bingo.
Yeah. Right, so of course with that the Skype call died, but I am back. And I'm back to watch some serious pushing going on by M5, you gotta say. They're already taking the top tier 1, they're going for the tier 2, and well, Monkey Boys got some defending to do here.
Yeah, they've been trying to defend that top lane, but it's that gank that comes out. It happens every single time, and they knew it was coming. Like, Rise was even just drawing the line down the secret shop of the path that Moscow 5 would actually take. But even with them knowing it was coming, there was nothing they could really do to actually stop it. Like, they're being harassed on the tier 2 tower on the top. AA is actually now throwing the oldie in towards the top lane as well, and there's going to be a good time to initiate. Dread's going to look for the stun. Dread's taking a lot of damage from Mirana right now, as well as the tower. Dread will actually go down, even though Ancient Apparition does pick up Mirana's hand. So a VS for the Mirana. I'd say that's a fair trade, Sind.
Yeah, that's a good trade, especially considering the lane position right now. With Mirana out of the picture for those seconds, they might actually be able to bring down the tier 2 tower with the next creep wave coming in. Looks like they will at least try to do so. NS is even stealing one of their melee creeps just to speed up a little bit on this, but looks like Angel will be out in time, so not going to be a tier 2 there. I actually wonder, I didn't really get to see that, how did God get killed down there in the bottom lane? Did Miguel get some sort of rune? Because it looked like he had a really good time on that lane, and then suddenly he was first blooded.
Yeah, there was an invis rune which Miguel was actually using. So he started with the Ether Shock, then chained into the Shackles, and then after that point we saw the Axes fly. There was no Raw to hold him in place at that point, but it was enough damage, especially with the border slowed down Windrunner as he tried to escape. It made life easy enough for them.
Alright, so that was a very important kill coming out for Monkey actually getting down the bottom lane, and I think as you pointed out,
we're going again.
Now on.
We're going again. The Beastmaster with the Invis rune actually there with the Raw, as well as the Beast Shackle will hold Windrunner in place. A perfect timing as well, just after she triggered off the Windrun, which means running away is not easy enough, and the Ether Shock only just enough mana to pop it off, but does get the kill there for the Shadow Shaman. 3-1 in favor of Monkey.
Another good gank for them, working out brilliantly now. Getting those 2 kills as well is going to bring Miguel close to level 6 now on that Shadow Shaman. As you pointed out, they chose to give Beastmaster most of the levels down there as Rasta or Shadow Shaman was played as a support. So that they're going to have to get that Shadow Shaman up to level 6 very quickly to start using those Masked Serpent wards to try to push on that bottom lane or on the mid lane to sort of get back the disadvantage they have on the map right now. Or get back an advantage, not get back the disadvantage. They're already at one. But yeah, they need to try to level up a bit, is what I meant to say there. Yeah, need to level up on the map here by taking towers on the other lanes. And of course, those Masked Serpent wards are key for them right now. They really need them. And yeah, Miguel is probably going to pop level 6 very soon. He's back to get mana and health right now, and will probably jump out to lane, hit level 6, and drop those wards.
Yeah, Miguel's actually, I think the best thing for him right now is the fact he's actually got 2 of the kills. His CS is 4 for 0. He's given everything to the Beastmaster in the bottom lane. He's at 35 for 13 right now. He's actually, well, near the most farmed here on the map. Vigos is actually still just pimping him at the post, and that's as the Ancient Apparition. Obviously, Ancient Apparition also grabbing that kill from that top lane, which is the only kill so far for the entire of Moscow 5, which is so unusual for them. It is massively unusual for them only to have 1 kill in the first 10 minutes. Like, you wouldn't think you're actually watching Moscow 5 right now. But they're also going to be thinking later on in the game, our big team fight, our mid game is where we're going to want to roll everybody. That's when all our ultimates will be up. Chen will become a power in the waters. Necrolite will get a decent amount of farm. And then we can really stick it to them. I'm just interested to see how much damage we see coming out from Monkey. If Monkey actually take any form of towers before we actually hit the 20-minute mark.
Yeah, that's my concern for Monkey as well. They might be ahead by 3-1. That's all good, but strategy-wise, if they have anything on M5 once they hit that mech in the pipe, is what I'm a little bit worried about.
Oh, Windrunner caught out. She's windrunning. She can't get away. The Beastmaster roll will hold her in place, but they can't attack her in that windrun. They do get the kill though. It was the slow from the boar. Beastmaster gets the kill with the support from Lich. That was not meant to happen because they were meant to actually be gathering up. In the meantime, Miguel, there's those wards you're asking for. The AA ulti is just actually going to miss Miguel because he was being too aggressive. Back past the tower, and those wards should be able to do a decent amount of damage towards that tier 1 tower, but won't actually get the kill for it. Cackless also having a little bit of fun there in the middle lane. Unable to get the kill, got cold feeded up, and looks like Ancient Apparition went straight back to base after that point. I think Chen even just pulled him out then.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a rebuttal coming out of Monkey there. They got the kill, they got half a tower down on bottom, and they've got to do this because the Necrolite top is having a pretty good time. Vigos, as you pointed out, had a good time in mid as well. And I'm just a little bit, like I said, concerned for Monkey about what's going to happen for them in the mid game. When the mech and pipes are up on the Dire side, they have, well, on the Radiant side, the Kara is the Mirana who is playing on the offlane and is not getting too much items. I guess, not too much farm, I mean. So she's it's gonna take a while before she actually becomes a force in this game. The rest of the heroes who get the farm, get a lot of levels on the Radiant side are fighters and casters. That just means that the mech, pipe, and Hand of God will probably be able to negate all of their damage. Puck, Lich, Rasta, they're gonna out-heal it. And as you look at the gold score right there, it seems completely even. The 3-kill advantage makes up for the tower. And, well, the farm on the lanes are probably pretty even in that sense. So, yeah, we'll see how Monkey played out, but it's going to be very difficult for them strategy-wise at 25.
Yeah, I'm interested to see just how they actually pick the fights as well. Not only just about, like, you can try and counter games, but what the hell is Dread doing? Dread in between the tier 1 and tier 2 towers. He does have support here by Windrunner. They might think about, well, hang on, that was a misclick by Dread. Magic missiling one of the melee creeps just then, so I think he actually intended to actually go for someone else. I hear the Mirana arrow popping off, looking for a hit on there on Dread, but Dread managing to avoid it. He still actually has the creep wave following him though, and that's giving away his position. But he will get back safely, and looks like we will see Ancient Apparition come through and take the aggro instead.
A nice arrow dodge there from Dread. Knew that it was coming from Angel in the middle, and yeah, it's still Monkey. Rasta's ultimate is, or Shadow Shaman. Need to get used to the new names, Sin. Need to get used to them. Well, they're not new, but they only have one name right now. But Miguel playing as that Shadow Shaman does have his ultimate ready again, and the way I see it for Monkey, it's about utilizing that ultimate as much as possible for them in the game right now. That has to, it has to pay out for them. It has to pay off. I mean, using that ultimate, they need towers, they need map control. To avoid that M5, get that push that I think Monkey should be worried about. And for M5, things are going pretty smooth right now. They're behind by 3 kills, but I don't think they're the least bit worried. Because strategy-wise, they probably think they have the upper hand.
Yeah, they do. It's something which needs to come out from Monkey. And I know they're waiting for it too. And this is what I was waiting for, the initiation. They pulled out 2 with the puck ultimate. There go the wards. Can they hold God in place as well? No, they only pick up 1. Those wards are also not in range of the tower. So they can't actually use it to damage down that tier 1 tower. They should be able to kill it though, even though the Windrunner is here. She'll power shot and try and slow them down, but there should be more than enough damage to actually kill off this tier 1 tower on bot. But what I was about to actually say is it's the way that Monkey have always played since their reformation, their change in roster about a month or so ago. And ever since that point, it's just, okay, win a team fight and push. Win a team fight and push. And I think that's the way their strat is actually working in their minds for this one. We're looking at Beastmaster for initiation, Puck to hold him in place, Lich ulti if he's actually there to bounce that one off, and the creeps will be basically demolishing the damage coming out from Mirana, and she's kind of like that half late game kind of thing, and then the push will come through Shadow Shaman. I think that's the logic that's coming from behind them, just judging from the way they've always played in other matches.
Yeah, it definitely is, and it's a great strategy. But like I said before, I think M5 might have studied them well, might have realized what you're talking about, and picked something that works very well against it. As you see, the Necrolite's almost got that mechanism up. So with that, they already have that 250 AoE heal together with Hand of God that heals 200 globally on all heroes. That's 450 health on all heroes. And I'm supposing that the Windrunner will be building a pipe. Actually, I'll have a kill going down there while I say that. Up the top lane, Mirana gets killed, and that's probably going to give them a tier 2 tower. Beastmaster takes a rebuttal on Venge, and they're probably going to trade towers now, the top tier 2. Maybe, at least, Monkey can try to get that tier 1 mid with their current map positioning while they lose the tier 2 top tower. So, but again, it goes both ways, I guess you could say, because when you look over at M5, they don't have a real hard hitter in that sense. Their big carry is Necrolite. So, well, the Radiant side could just as well get a mech and a pipe, and then we're going to have a mech pipe battle against each other about the 25-minute mark, which gets way, way more interesting if both sides have them. If not, I don't know about Monkey.
Rosalight should be able to get them, though. Like, the amount of kills coming out, like, fair enough, you've lost a tier 1 and tier 2 on top, but it's a tier 1 and a tier 1 trade on the bottom as well as the mid. Map control-wise, everything is level as far as farm-wise goes. Yeah, I'm going to say everything is pretty level. Just check out the gold difference. Radiant have actually moved ahead by just over 1,500 gold in their advantage. So, yeah, for me, I see no real difference. I think a lot of it's going to come down to how the team fights go, how much map control Moscow 5 managed to actually claim in this first couple of, in the first 20 to 30 minutes. And I'm talking about 30 minutes time. In my mind, they need to have actually demolished every single tier 1 tower and at least claim 2 of the 3 tier 2 towers. Because if they get that, then they control everything else, and then you can see the mass amount of farm come up from them. Necrolite will become unstoppable, and they just keep pushing, they just keep ganking, and life is good for them. But if they don't get that map control, Mirana will still feel free to move around, and they're still going to face the teamfight potential of Monkey. As now we're going to go again. The Roar's going out, Vengeful Spirit actually being axed over, keeping himself alive, and Chen pulls him out. Oh, that test! The test of faith. He is faithful. AA Oli will fly in as well. Hits on Beastmaster as well as Mirana. Now they want to initiate as, I'm guessing that's Lich's ulti actually catching out there. You can check out that animation in a second. PGG gets caught out. Necrolite brought down with the Rasta Wars, dealing off enough damage. It was held in place there by Miguel. And was that the Lich ulti actually bugging out Sind? You should have seen the animation as well. In the end, we were going to lose Chen's neutrals, and Necrolite's the only one to actually die.
That's a very, very... I've got to be honest with you, I've never seen this before. In all of the Dota 2 games I've played, and we're talking
a lot of games
now. A lot of games, man. And I haven't seen that happening before. That must be a very rare bug connected to the tornado of the Wildkin. I guess you could say, fortunately, enough for Monkey, it didn't lose them the fight. They maybe could have bagged another kill, but they still went away from it victoriously. They got the kill on Necrolite, stayed alive, all of them as well. Great Holy Persuasion coming out of Chen on the back of Vengeful Spirit to save him out, but the problem was that they pulled him out with all of that, but they also used all of their heals, and that's what gave Monkey the following kill. Necrolite used his mechanism, he used Death Pulse, they used Hand of God, threw all of that away just to get the Vengeful out, and then you have the initiation coming out of Monkey, because that's what they're playing on. If those heals are used, their teamfight hurts, and it hurts like fuck. And, well, the response, M5 just can't respond. With the Hand of God and the mech down, they're inferior in these fights by far. That's why I pointed out that the mech and pipe are so important for them, and which is why they are going for them. But great play by Monkey there, realized, all right, they've used a lot in getting Venge out, let's chase it through. And got a kill for it.
So they're going to look for another kill now, smoking up and heading down towards the bottom lane. Interesting note, Ancient Apparition walking around with a Vanguard. Like, sometimes you see him with a hood and then he converts into a pipe, or we see like a 4-staff kind of thing. Did Vanguard build on Vigos?
He often goes for that on the Ancient Apparition, actually. It's not uncommon for him. The question is if he's going to build the pipe now. I don't know, what's G looking at item-wise? Does he have anything towards the pipe?
Actually, I'll do something better for you, man. I'll give you that. They'll give you your entire screen of who's actually got what and what's in the stash. And it looks like PGG is the one with the cloak up, so he might actually be going pipe as well as mech.
That is dangerous.
Yeah, do we want to go back to our conversation, which was had over multiple games we've had through the tutorial stuff, tutorial times, trying to actually educate people on the world of Dota 2. A mech and a pipe on one hero. If you lose that hero, you lose the mech and the pipe. But if you split it up, then you've actually got it in 2 different places. You lose one, but you don't lose both of those effects.
it's very dangerous, I think, for M5 to build both on the same hero, knowing that, well, if they do that, the counter on the other side is that we have Primal Roar from Beastmaster, one of the best single-target stuns in the game, great initiate, long range. They're going to throw that on the hero with mech and pipe and going to burst him down with everything they've got to try to pull it off. And well, at this point, a Necrolite with a mech and a pipe is not going to stay alive through that ultimate through that Beastmaster ultimate if everything is used on him, simply everything. Chen can't port him out in time. They do have a Vengeful Swap though, which might be their lifeline on that one, and with that, they could perhaps even pull it off. If Venge stays in position behind, and Monkey really want to burst down that hero, because obviously they have to, he has the mech, he has the pipe, they have to kill that guy, but then they have the Nether Swap guarding him from behind, might be the game plan from M5, and then in that sense, it might actually be even a wise decision having pipe and mech on the same hero.
Use him as bait. It's dangerous, but it can give you that advantage during the fights, and Vigos just sending actually his illusion down there. I'm glad they actually changed that around so we can actually tell which one's the illusion. For a long time in the spec mode, we couldn't. Blink Dagger is actually heading down towards the bottom lane, so Puck has actually managed to buy up her Blink Dagger. In the meantime, I'm actually missing Chen dying here in the middle lane because Moscow 5 decided finally they're going to push down a little bit more. So Shadow Shaman's actually going down, sorry, Chen was the one to get the kill. Beastmaster just axing up the creep wave, just trying to pull them back down past the tornado so they can fight in their own terms, as Puck will be ready to actually initiate here on the middle lane. Orb will fly out, fortification as well. There's no warning rift, or wanning rift, however you want to frickin' pronounce it, and then blink back out again. And Moscow 5 will be happy with the tower and just fall back.
Yeah, and this is the power of their lineup, of course. When they bag a kill on a key hero like Shadow Shaman, or their pushing power is just immense, especially when you've got that Wildkin throwing the tornado. Very long range, movable as you want, and they just move it in behind, putting pressure, slowing, and dealing damage all the time. Consistent damage source. Monkey unable to do anything. They're going to drop the tower. The question is, they're going to be all about damage control. They need to not drop too much, as the Force Staff is now finished on Windrunner, so she went for that one. It might very well be the pipe as well on Necrolite.
It could be, and I think it will be. I think it will be in the end. PGG, whatever keeps him alive is definitely a good thing to actually do. Because he will be in the middle of that fight. No matter what happens, PGG will be smack bang in the middle. Even if it actually starts and he's not even that lane. For some reason, he will just appear in the middle of the fight. Moscow 5, I just want to know when they're going to push. Like, we're 22 minutes into this game. They're hitting the point where Mirana's getting farm up. We've got the ultimate orb up already. She's been given a fair amount of time on that top lane to actually farm without anybody going against her. That's why we now see her leading the way in the CS scores at 97 for 14. Sure, she's had 2 deaths, but has got 1 kill to actually balance that off. Mirana's going to get farmed. Mirana's going to get a lot of damage. And then Miguel does exactly what he does right now. Pushes on a tier 2 tower. A little bit of damage, bit by bit, and all of a sudden you find yourself push back on the towers when you actually have yourself a massive pushing lineup. I'm worried that Moscow 5 are going to miss their moment.
Yeah, well, Monkey are definitely doing what they can to try to spread M5 out. M5 very determined in what they're doing right now. You see them smoking up with these 3 heroes, probably going for a gang, and then if that succeeds, going for Roshan.
Oh, they're going to go for a gank, but they're not going to be ready for this. God! Oh, the shackle, the silence, the burst, the axe gets the kill from Beastmaster. Windrunner, now that's Mirana's ultimate. She's not even in the lane, but she pops off her ultimate to try and help out with initiation. Beastmaster, 1 second off actually popping off his axes to clear off the trees. Moscow 5 already falling back to their tier 2 tower. The Ancient Apparition only kind of flew a little bit awry there. They saw the heroes coming in, and instantly it's just fall back.
Great use of that bottom ultimate there, getting them that kill and eventually the tier 2 tower. That was very important for Monkey there. And now they're actually, I think, are we tied on the towers? Yeah, we actually tied on the towers. 2 towers down on the bottom for M5, 2 towers down on the top for Monkey, and then 1 tower each in the middle. Yeah, it's completely even at this point, and Monkey can be very pleased with that. With the game plan right now so far, it's definitely going well for them. And yeah, that was just brilliant execution right there.
Yeah, I've been really impressed by Monkey, and a lot of people were actually asking me too, who do you actually think is going to take this tournament? And I kept on saying it is going to be Monkey in the finals. Who will actually join them? I don't know. If it'll be Moscow 5, if it'll be Na'Vi, if we'll actually have Orange there, that's a very, very big question in my mind. But for me, Monkey are one of the strongest teams going into this match, into this competition. And I'm really, really excited by it already. Their 2 games have already played. It hasn't been complete domination, but they're also going up right up now against Moscow 5. Like, we should point out, Moscow 5 are freaking awesome. They are sweet as hell. Hello, Tier 1 tower goes down the top, so there goes your balance and towers. For the moment, at least. Yeah, Monkey, I'm really...
For a very short moment.
Yeah, I've been really impressed by their play. Yeah, Moscow 5 are about to take the Tier 1 tower on bot. Puck's got to be careful not to get caught out. Shackle goes. Phase shifts. AA Oldie will fly in. It's going to hit this time, and that will be the death of Cackless. No, it doesn't! It's just short! That AA Oldie needed to hit just then. So Cackless was just a little bit too high northwest and unable to get the kill. In the meantime, we've got the top lane being pushed out as well. So it's a tier 2 trade on both, and the TP support's going to come towards the top. Instantly, PGG is there. He gets howled, he gets roared. Lich is there as a Frost. They're holding PGG in place. He's gone. TP is cancelled. Windrunner is there. And there goes your focus firing down PGG. The man is supposed by the mech as well as the pipe. They can do it.
Yeah, that's it, and that's what I'm talking about. They used everything, apart from Lich Ultimate there, I think, to try to bring him down. And that's where the Vengeful Spirit needs to be. A little bit of mistiming and maybe miscommunication there from M5. They didn't have the heroes there on time. But imagine that fight with a Vengeful Spirit swap. That would have been...
So much different.
So much different.
Moscow 5 split. They had 3 on the bottom and 2 on the top. And there was like two TPs which came in. Windrunner was TP to the back. And PGG TP smack bang in the middle of the battle with no support whatsoever. He had to know that was going to go that way.
Yeah, it seemed like there was a little bit of a disagreement on the play call there. It didn't really go for the same thing, but yeah, now the tower lead is again on Monkey, actually, taking that top tier 2 while defending their own bottom. So, certainly not going the way M5 planned it to now, and this is the advantage Monkey actually need to have to pull this through. If they keep this up, if they keep ganking M5, keep taking them by surprise, M5 never get the opportunity to do what I introduced right in the start, which is just rolling through with the 5 heroes they have as a very, very powerful pushing train. They're splitting them up very, very well. Monkey are spreading out the forces and forcing M5 to adapt to it.
Yeah, it's amazing play. A Shadow Shaman now also has a blink dex that's double blink. Initiation is perfect right now. I don't think even Beastmaster needs to worry about it. Beastmaster actually completes the pipe. Beastmaster pipe as well as Vanguard. And Mech is currently being built by Lich. He's only about what looks to be like 500 gold away from actually completing it. So Monkey are in a fantastic position right now. Piper's actually almost done a Necrite as well, so he's actually got a decent amount of farm to get towards the hood, just needs the rest of the recipe and such. And then he'll have his pipe up. So we've actually got Mech and pipe up pretty much on the same bars for both of these squads. They'll both be up by at least 30 minutes.
Yeah, they will, and which team gains the most from it, man? I don't know. It's a very hard call to make, and that's why this game is so exciting. Because as far as kills go, we've got very few kills for the timer. It's not usual to only have 12 kills at 28 minutes, especially not for these teams the way we introduced them. But the play has been aggressive all round. It's been very, very aggressive, pushing, map control, outwarding, using smoke, using pod multi, all of that stuff. They want to make it happen. And, well, once the fights start, that's when all the kills are going to roll in, but it's very hard to predict how it actually goes on. It's going to be all about the timing. And yeah, Mech pipe up on Necrolite now.
Welcome to the start of the fight. Welcome to the start of the fight. They've got to know that Roshan's being done. There are wards around here that are keeping vision. In fact, that's actually a dire ward. There's actually no Radiant ward here, but everybody missing. They send in the Greater Boar, and they realize that Roshan will be down to half HP. Arrow flies. Dread takes it. Dread takes the arrow to the face. That's 5 seconds. He is down. Angel goes in. Beastmaster Raw. They're trying to kill off the VS. Chen's trying to pull him back out again and does successfully do so. AAL hits off perfectly. Cackless jumps back in again. PGG's on the front line, but he's out of mana right now. And the pipe and mech have already been popped off from both squads. And there goes the Beastmaster trying to run back out again. But the Ancient Apparition ultimate was enough to actually shatter him at the end. So Beastmaster, the only casualty just yet. They go back towards Roshan. Vigos comes in. Arrow hits on PGG. Ward trap now on Vigos, hold in place, Cackless. There should be enough damage to actually kill off the Ancient Apparition. The Vengeful Spirit, the one who got swapped, is already back. TP back down towards that bottom lane. Chen's already dead. Shackleshot holds Raster in place. It's a trade-off right now. They're still fighting next to the wall, so Windrun took a lot of damage. PGG trying to fall back towards the high ground right now. Dread lets off the Howl of Terror, and Moscow 5. It looks like they're actually going to abandon their attempt here on Roshan. And Roshan being at half HP, I don't think they're going to be confident enough to actually go this, but they are going to kill off the rest of Chen's creep wave. Ancient Apparition does have that ultimate up. God is now back again. Chen is almost about to respawn. And I don't know if anybody will really want to finish off Roshan. No, Moscow 5. They said, screw it, man. They want Roshan. They're going again.
Yeah, and they're one guy up as well in numbers, and all the ultimates on the the Radiant side, apart from the Mirana ultimate, are actually on cooldown.
Angel popped off the arrow, actually helped Moscow 5 get the last hit on Roshan. It stunned him up. So Angel unable to actually get it. Star falls down, leaps himself away. I think he actually wanted to leap a little bit further than that with his ultimate. We'll let him run back out again. But Aegis Immortal is now picked up and is now on Necrolite as well.
Yeah, so that worked out for 5 right there. Brilliant fight, you've got to say, from both sides.
Beastmaster Raw axes already with the pipes now popping up from everybody. PGG is held in place. Vigos gets a great AA ulti. It's on the Beastmaster right now. They want a little bit more damage. Beastmaster will shatter. Chen actually gets the last hit. Windrunner puts on the little fast booties and wants to actually chase down a Rise as well as Miguel. Miguel instantly blinking away. The second God was there. Shackle shot. There was nothing for it to actually latch onto. So Rise only getting a mini stun there by God. The Beastmaster going down, and it's now still 11-6, but it looks like Moscow 5 want to push down the tier 2 tower in the mid.
Yeah, a questionable move there from Monkey, but I actually think it turned out to be a good trade for them. They lost one hero to get the Aegis away from PGG, and that means that in the upcoming very important team fight, if they kill him off, he's not going to have 2 lives this time. So probably not the worst idea they could have had there, trying to go in for that fight and actually getting that kill on the back of the Necrolite. But yeah, the tier 2 tower is going to go down, and well, another point we actually haven't talked about yet is that AA ultimate, the shatter, or well, not the shatter effect, but just the burning ice effect that you get on you when it actually hits you or flies across you, disables all healing on you, and that means that if the AA ultimate hits well, the mechanism of the Radiant side will not have any effect. And that should give them a very good upper hand in those fights if that hits. But of course, Monkey, they've done some great positioning so far.
Fight's about to start in the tier 2 tower. Fortification will try and boost them up for this. Park blinks in! Great ultimate! It's got 3 of Moscow 5, but in comes Vigos as well as Peach. It's GGG. And oh wow. Still nobody dead. Chen gets a pull back out again. Dread's trying to run back out again. PGG gives them some life. Monkey are in chase. The blink goes. They just want PGG. Will they get him though? Stick charges pop, or will they? He's got 9 of them right now to actually use, but he's held in place long enough to get the kill. Mirana with the Starfall gets it. In the meantime, Cackless actually orbed up and caught out Vengeful Spirit. Managed to grab 2 in the return. The tier 2 tower was lost during that, but tier 2 tower for a 2-off trade with Necrolite and VS. I think Monkey will still be happy with that.
Yeah, they definitely will if they can use this somehow on the map, because obviously kills are alright, but if they can't really use it for anything, then they're not worth as much as a tier 2 tower. The problem for Monkey right now is that they don't really have any target. The only tier 2 tower left on the map is the middle one, and I'm not sure if they're actually going to make it on time. The Shadow Shaman wards are down, all of their ultimates are on cooldown, and well, AA ultimate is going to be up very soon to actually defend that middle tier 2, and it doesn't even look like Monkey are going to try it. So, well, those 2 kills were good, but need some map control. Push out the lanes, get some good wards as a minimum trade for these 2 kills, get the vision out.
I just want to know where Moscow 5 are going to go with this. I really want to know where they're going to go with this. Can they push? Monkey have the control. How do you force Monkey to make a mistake? Especially when they've got so many heroes that can make up. If one hero is called out of position, there's so many other heroes that can either blink straight in. There's ultimates to hold people in place. There's enough stuns to actually hold them in. It's Moscow 5 just really need a team fight to go their way. They need Necrolite to be able to live and be a big key player in it. And they need to actually not have to get to the point where Chen is just pulling people out and they lose the things like the consistent Vengeful Spirit stunts, the consistent negative armor, or the swap for positional play. How many Windrunner shackle shots have we actually seen? A lot of the fights have actually been done in open space as well. So God really hasn't had a lot to actually play with.
I think he's latched 1 or 2 good shackle shots on 2 targets, but you're absolutely right. The Monkey are doing great at positioning correctly against the Windrunner. And another point I want to make is that Potom is actually getting very close to the MKB, which will be a game-breaking item for Monkey. With that extra damage, she's only 1,000 off if she wants to buy it and not have gold for a rebuy. The question is if Angel actually dares to do that. But with the right-click power, that's going to be the problem of Necrolite. He doesn't have a very big HP pool. He does have the magic resistance, he does have the heal from the mech, but an MKB cuts through him like butter.
Mid setup's about to happen. Moscow 5, they're currently actually facing down with Monkey, but what they don't realize is Angel is actually still in an invis rune hanging out behind, so they know how many of Moscow 5 are actually there. Moscow 5 completely grouping up pretty close, so everybody gets arcane boot charges as well. Mana for all, and I don't think Monkey want to fight this. Yeah, they're going to leap back out again. It looks like Monkey just don't want to force the team fight. They're happy to pick one out here or there and just push out the other lanes.
I think it's a wise decision as well. I still don't see them having the upper hand in a roll 5-on-5. I see them having that if Necrolite doesn't get too big and if Potom gets this MKB up, that's going to be huge for them. Necrolite is only 2,500 away, I think, from his Scythe of Vise. Yep, he is. He's got the Ultimate Orb as well as the Void Stone. So that's going to be their counter to the Mirana later on. I mean, that Scythe of Vise for the Hex is going to lock her in place in a 3.5 sec stun, and well, that's a duration she can't use spells in and can't hit in. On the other side, what are Monkey building towards? What have they got? We talked about the Mirana. I think the Puck actually is getting quite close to
Puck
his
already
as
has
well.
a Mystic Staff up as well as the Ultimate Orb,
So
and
he's
actually
pretty even.
not done yet. I was looking at the right person. For some reason, I was able to pick up that item like that. Not intentional. Moscow 5, we're going to have to wait and leave item discussion to actually go because Moscow 5 are currently pushing on the Tier 3 tower of Monkey. All 5 heroes currently here, but they've got no creep wave with them, bar what Chen's actually created for them, and Dread turns into a very interestingly modelly changed chicken. It kind of actually had a couple more feathers than the ones at the International. But the next creep wave will come in. But Moscow 5 kind of realize, like, they can't push. They can't push at that point. They're just getting hurt everywhere right now. Oh, I've lost my ability to click on a mini-map. Yay!
Anyway, the
We will now be scrolling across the map. I apologize for missing anything.
what the hell? Try to re-tab into the game. What is
So
this?
there's something. Don't try and pick up an item like that, or else you can't actually use the mini-map. Okay.
Oh, wow. Okay.
We found a new bug. Somebody log it on the forums right now. That's why it's a beta, man. That's why it's a beta. I never even knew you could do that. Calculus, destroying off the creep wave. Looks like they want to get that last Tier 2 tower. It's the last tower outside the base for both teams, actually. They have no other Tier 2 tower on the map bar this one in the middle. While PGG's on the front lines, it's almost impossible to stop him. He's got that Void Stone as well. He's only 1,700 away from his own sheepstick.
And it's going to make a big difference when these Scythes of Vise come into play. Of course, the reason we call it sheepstick is that it actually turns the target into a sheep. At least it does in Dota 1. I still think it turns people into a pig in Dota 2.
The pig. I think the pig's a little bit different because there's abilities which turn you into a pig, which come from Lion. Actually, Lion turns you into a frog. Shadow Shaman turns you into a
chicken.
A chicken.
And then the Scythe of Vise turns you into a pig. I'm almost 90% sure. 99, I mean. Almost 90. That's not convincing, is it?
But I trust you, Sint. I trust you.
Yeah, I think it's a pig. It's a huge difference, guys. You've got to realize. All right, but anyway, once those pigs come into play, it's going to change around the team fights because the additional control that both sides are going to get is going to enable them to throw off the focus fire nicely on the Radiant side. We know they want to focus down the Necrolite, so. What they can do is lock Necrolite in place with the Beastmaster Raw, and then immediately, perhaps, use the Scythe of Vise on Chen, so that he doesn't get his heal off. that's going to give them, in that way, the Scythe of Vice is actually going to do damage to Necrolite. So that's one option they have. They could also use the Scythe on the Venge, so they don't get the swap available. Lots of potential is there. The Scythes are completed on both teams now, I think. So they will come into play. At least Calculus has his, and I think
Necrolite's
PGG
still
should have
1,000
it as
short.
well. He's 1,000 short. So that's a good chance for Monkey now. With that Scythe as an advantage, that's a very big one they've got right now. And we might see them actually trying to push it.
It's possible, but it looks like they're actually going to give up. They're thinking about pushing out the lanes. At this point, we've got Beastmaster on the bottom lane pushing that out. He's actually at 3k gold. And you're going to see where he actually goes with his arms as well. If we actually see something like a heart, if we see, well, what else can we see? Can we see, normally I'd say a Blink Dagger on Beastmaster, but I don't really think that's going to be massively for him right now, considering what they've already got with the Blinks from Shadow Shaman, as well as from Puck. Not to mention the maneuverability of Mirana. They don't really need much more than that. At this point, yeah. Actually, just double check I didn't lose Sind. You still with me, Sind?
Yeah, don't worry about it, man.
Alright, cool. Yeah, you went silent after I stopped talking and was like, hang on, has that happened again? Checking other screens.
Wait, my laptop is still running. But yeah, a little bit of a stalemate right now, which, well, kind of wasn't what we were expecting, but considering the lineup and considering the positioning on the map, not really surprising that this is what's coming off. I think Monkey are burning to try to get something done, but they just can't seem to find the opening. M5 aren't really giving them any openings, but they really want it. They want to to press the advantage while they have that Scythe, but it's just not happening for them, and I think PGG will have his in a second. And like I said, impossible to predict how the fights actually go later on in the game. Great support for the Necrolite, of course, who the Radiant will be trying to focus down. They've got the swap as well as the Holy Persuasion to pull him out. And well, yeah, the question is if the Radiant can pull that through, and on the other side, can M5 deal the damage?
A lot of questions we have to have answered. I actually thought for a second there that we're going to have a smoke up. We saw Monkey actually assembling for a smoke, but in the end they decided not to pop it. There's one smoke on the Lich. Also want to point out too right now, while Beastmaster's walking around with 3,500 gold, Miguel's actually almost got another 3k gold with that point booster, so Aghanim Scepter might not be far off for him with his ultimate as well. Another big thing when they're going to push down the towers. Increased effectiveness of those Serpent Wards. The tower's going to be a lot easier to actually bring down if there's an opportunity, if there's an opening. And Puck even now up with another 2,200 gold. And this is kind of what happens when you get caught in this situation of we're in a stalemate. When do we push? Where's the opening? We'll keep grouping up as 5, but then we go back and farm up. And it just keeps his income just flooding in to all the heroes. But there's just no kill, so nothing's being pulled back again. So a lot of big tier 3 items are going to be coming up in the next big fight. But the question will always be, when will the next big fight actually start? Who's going to find the opening? Who will actually be happy to make the move? And I'm pretty sure the answer is going to be with Moscow 5, Sin, because Moscow 5, if they don't win the game in 40 minutes, it's just basically disrespectful.
Double damage.
Well, it's hard to say actually who, like I said, it's really exciting later on in the game as well, because we know how beasty Necrolite gets when we get full items on him. He's like very hard to bring down, high consistent damage and healing. Of course, not to be underestimated, this is passive aura. The Heartstopper aura gets very devastating when heroes get a lot of health. It deals a lot of damage per second. And, well, it's... The question is who has the upper hand later on. I think both teams are going to play their chance. I don't think any of them actually... I think both teams think they're stronger late game, to be honest. I think they're like, all right, we can play it better than the others, and we've got good late game heroes. We can do this. But yeah, now you're looking at the gold graph. I was about to say that. Let's have a look at that. And you see Monkey are gaining. And that is... This gold graph might very well be what decides the outcome of the game, rather than who has the better late game. It's about who uses this phase the best. And Monkey are clearly out farming M5 right now.
Yeah, Monkey, every single time Monkey look for a fight, they group up in 5, but they never stay as a group of 5 for more than probably like 1, maybe 2 minutes. And Moscow 5, they group up, but they stay grouped up for a lot longer than that. And now that Roshan's actually now back up and alive again, I'm interested to actually see if that's where our next fight will actually take place, just like it did last time. And Calculus might get caught out! He is currently a piglet. He faces perfectly on the AA ulti, as well as the power shot. then jumps back out again. Mirana throws a random arrow in there. If Calculus got caught off, and if Calculus just died, it would have been a guaranteed Roshan for Moscow 5. But that is one hell of a play for him not to get caught out. Kind of bad for him to actually be there in the first place, but he still lives.
Yeah, great escape coming out of Calculus there. Good timing on everything, as you said. But M5 trying it. They gave it a shot, and that could have been huge, like you said. I actually think Calculus could have even rebought, so it probably wouldn't have given them a free Roshan. But initiative, and well, they are going to be taking the initiative around the map now. As I think they might be realizing that, well, something has to be done if Monkey keep out farming us. Obviously, the players do not have that gold graph available in the game. That would just be stupid. But M5 might actually realize that, all right, this is going downhill by the minute. We have to be the ones doing something.
Yeah, you could generally tell it anyway, as we're just actually watching Shadow Shaman pushing out the bottom lane all by his little lonesome. Also noticing the Greater Hawk, I was trying to put it out before on the stream. Greater Hawk actually sitting here right on top of the Roshan pit. Right on top of it. They want to keep all vision. Anybody moving up around to you, they actually moved in a little bit closer, and then after stopping moving, the Hawk actually goes invisible. They've got perfect vision to know when Roshan's going to happen, and I think that's actually a reason why Monkey are feeling so much more safer around the map. They know Roshan's going to be the next big key thing to actually grab up, but they also want to be able to farm, and they want to be able to move away far enough to actually farm all their creep camps or to go around and gang push down the different lanes. But the only way you can do that is if you actually have that knowledge of what is happening at the Rosh pit. And once again, we see Moscow 5. There's 3 of them moving in right now, 4 of them moving in, 5 of them moving in if we're going to count Windrunner up next to the secret shop. There's a lot of heroes hanging around Roshan, and they were actually spotted there by the Hawk before they're going to go in. But the second Hawk's going to come in. They're going to be careful not to lose this Hawk, or else they lose that control, and the Hawk is pushed back. Killed off by PGG. Monkey now know something is about to happen at Roshan, and in fact it now is.
Yeah, the two sides are up. Actually, important items just to cap before we actually get into it. PGG has got the Ghost Scepter. Brilliant counter to that Potom's right-clicking abilities to go ethereal for those 4 seconds. And then at the same time, they've got a Scythe of Vise on the Ancient Apparition as well. So 2 scythes on the Scourge, the Dire, and 1 scythe on the Radiant. And well, that Ghost Scepter, Tobi, that could be huge.
We'll watch it for our next fight.
Why does he have agility treads, though? That could not be huge.
He wants to attack faster, man. It's BGG. He's aggressive. In the meantime, though, mid lane's actually been pushed out. Vigos might get caught out right now. BKB is now up for Miguel. So Miguel actually having a BKB on that Shadow Shaman. Uninterrupted stun as well now. As we've actually got some connection problems going in. Of course, I should actually point out, too, I'm remoting in from Berlin into the LAN server. The stream's actually still going out fine, so I'm hoping nothing's actually going to crash on here. You're still with me, aren't you, Sind?
Yeah, I'm watching it. There was a little spike there. Now there's another one. But yeah, hopefully it will run. And yeah, as somebody in the chat actually pointed out, there's a BKB on the bottom. I see that now. And that's going to be huge as well. That's going to guard her from the sides. What you basically see now is 2 teams countering the counters of the counters on the other side. Realizing
we're back in again! Holy Hannah, bad time to come back in again! But we're going to watch Moscow 5 get ultra killed by Mirana on the end. Wow, you couldn't have picked the worst time to actually disconnect.
They were just waiting for it.
The funny thing is, I actually got messaged by Greg. We sat here for like 20 minutes waiting for that fight. The tier 2 tower is now gone. Mirana picks that up. And the ultra kill for Mirana. She had a BKB during that fight as well. And now they will take out the tier 3 tower. I knew something horrible was going to happen when I saw that disconnect. And yeah, it's now happened. It's the reason why you should bring me to France. But yeah, in the meantime, we're actually remaining in from Berlin. They're going to take down the melee racks here in the mid and then instantly rotate down. Instant rotation down towards the bottom lane. They want to kill off these towers while they've still got Angel inside that Manta style. They get rid of the tier 3 tower in the bottom lane too. The melee barracks is the next target. They've got both the mid as well as the bottom now. Moscow 5 in a horrendous position.
Yeah, this should pretty much actually spell the game. That was quite.
On the bright side now, I can click on the mini-map. I can click on the mini-map now. It's the bright side.
But yeah, that was a brilliant fight from Monkey. They killed 5, but we have no idea how they did it. But very well played. And yeah, they're gonna take 4 barracks because of this. Both the bottom and the middle racks are gone, as you pointed out. 18-6 the score, and well, the amount of gold you get for this and the amount of map control you get for this, you can't overestimate it. It's simply the game right here. Getting those barracks. If we have
We're going to
viewers
go
coming in
again,
from,
man. It's round 2. They realized we were disconnected. They want to see this happen again. They're actually going to go for Roshan. He actually didn't die during that point. They let Roshan actually live as a trade-off to actually get the double barracks, which is completely fair enough in the end. And now the ultimate there from Marana popping off. They still haven't actually completed up Roshan as Moscow 5 actually it's a premature pipe. The Chicken and Pickle is actually now going off on 2. Calculus is already dead. A big AA ulti. The heal from Chen trying to keep NS alive. He's trying to run away, and he does actually manage to get himself back out of that fight. In the meantime, Necrolite caught in between 5 heroes of Monkey, and PGG will die a slow, horrible death. Vengeful Spirit dies, Chen dies, Necrolite dies, and Roshan is now given to Monkey. At least we get to see one of the fights. Miguel blinks up, instantly wanting G. Roshan is gone, and it is going to be Miguel. Not Miguel, Angel. The Marana to actually get this one. Arrow's going to fly. Oh, that almost hit as well. Windrunner just sitting right on the edge there of the range of the arrow.
Yeah, probably while we're in a little bit of this of a silent time right now, might as well point out why the barracks are actually so important to people watching in for the first time, especially viewers as well coming out of League of Legends. In League of Legends, of course, the barracks actually respawn, and what it does that you destroy the barracks is that you spawn big creeps. You spawn 1 additional big creep in the lane that you destroy the barracks in, and if you destroy all the barracks, you spawn 2. In Dota and in Dota 2, the barracks, first of all, they don't respawn, and second of all, they empower your creeps on the lane, so you don't spawn a separate unit. Basically, when you destroy the melee barracks, all of your melee creeps on the lane become more powerful, and most important, probably, give less gold. So, the moment you take down barracks, you reduce the enemy's income remarkably. That's why the barracks are so important in this game. And yeah, people from League of Legends will probably wonder, why is this such a big deal? Alright, it does mean a bit when the inhibitors go down in League of Legends, but here, barracks are what the game is all about. And you see, they took down the barracks, game ends right now. They've taken control of it, and there we go, game goes to Monkey. They're on a roll, Tobi.
Yeah, that they are. They've been playing amazing. Let's see how they're going to go in the future matches to let you know what is actually coming up next. We're actually going to stick with Monkey, and Monkey are actually going to go up against eHome. That'll be our second last game for the day. What will cap off our day will be eHome versus Moscow 5. That will be our final game for the day. So stick around. We'll be back very, very soon. Well, what should actually be, yeah, actually pretty soon with our next game. Stick around.